The Knocumentary.
It came from the Bay. We been doing it. Independent till we die, feel me? Going major, worldwide. We been done it, we been did it. Independent to worldwide, you must admit it. From the booth to the streets, we laced a lot of y'all. Now you're trying to flip the script like you invented it. We been done it, we been did it. Independent to worldwide, you must admit it. From the booth to the streets, we laced a lot of y'all. Now you're trying to flip the script like you invented it. We come in action packed, so don't relax, the West is back. You actually fell in the trap, you're wrong for that. Game change for the dollar bill, cause we still riding, never hiding from you suckers, cause y'all tricks and busters. It's an independent game, crossing over in a major way, paying bills with our skills, straight lights from the Bay, from the O to the Sco, to San Jose, hustling on your turfs, instead of bumming you for change. So keep my position, no need for contradiction, more dough in my possession will facilitate our mission. Sticking, moving and jabbing, living lavish, let's coordinate this cabbage and make it happen. OAK boy, doing it for pay boy, been doing this, it's time to recognize it boy, we in it to win it. Now working to the fullest for she's just get it cracking, cause you know you've been influenced. We been done it, we been did it. Independent to worldwide, you must admit it. From the booth to the streets, we laced a lot of y'all. Now you're trying to flip the script like you invented it. We been done it, we been did it. Independent to worldwide, you must admit it. From the booth to the streets, we laced a lot of y'all. Now you're trying to flip the script like you invented it. Clouded judgment, I'm rushing and busting, keeping the hustling, music you loving. So yo, it's some cousin, no need for grudges, I'm guzzling. Preaching is nothing to cook it and cut it, wrap it and box it and dust it until I come up with something. I've been in it since youngin', pushing and shoving, girls want to rubbing and hugging, but I ain't having it unless they got ducats. No longer riding in buckets, just Volks, pocket stuffing with hundreds. We getting started, hubbing and loving and no need for running. Get the whole crowd jumping and have their hearts pounding. After you feel the beat, you know it's here. We bringing something, so get your drink and toast and get your blood and smoke. You to the fullest, represent it, you can't breathe no more. Doing it the Bay way, so we don't care what you say. From the OAK, dirty trades to La DOA. So let's just keep it cracking and make it automatic, and let them know that the seed will make it happen. We been done it, we been did it. Independent to worldwide, you must admit it. From the booth to the streets, we laced a lot of y'all. Now you're trying to flip the script like you invented it. We been done it, we been did it. Independent to worldwide, you must admit it. From the booth to the streets, we laced a lot of y'all. Now you're trying to flip the script like you invented it.
There was politics and bubbling.
The new album, need to go snatch that for real.
Who we got? We got Spiggity One, Bila,
The homie.
Daz Dillinger, MC8, San Quinn, Technique, Who Bangin', Arm, and we got many more. We got my boys the Nibblers. They're new. They're coming out, man. They're sick. We're about to be doing it real live.
Real hard. You don't pick this album up, you ain't up on the realest shit, because this is the realest shit right here. Hands down. You know, the Bay gotta support it, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'll be out there supporting you motherfuckers, go snatch the shit, you know what I'm saying?
So Project Poetry, we're giving away Hustle Relentless as a bonus disc on the inside. And I'm not gonna tell you featured on it because it ain't based on who featured on it. It's one of my dopest albums. I got the best production going. One of my homeboys from Atlanta put it down from. His name is Young Gigolo. Not Gigolo G, but my homeboy Gigolo. But I love Gigolo G though, so we gonna clear that up. But it's stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? 12 hot songs, then you get 17 songs for the bonus disc. It's hot.
You know, this new album. The old album's called Welcome to National, and it's already in stores. The new one's called Outside Looking In. I got Fabulous on there, Tower of Power. I got Marlo doing some beats, Shanti doing some beats, The Game from Aftermath, Lavity singing hooks on it, Swamp Cat doing beats, another cat named G out of Richmond doing beats. It's gonna be a nice album.
Black Sea, The Last Man Standing. That's basically my solo. Just basically, I was sort of like the muscle of the group. You know what I mean? The roof was the gangster side, and Mr. C was more like the party vibe side. That, the kind of pretty much was attracted to attracting the female. So, basically, this is all me on this one. This is straight gangster funk. Some of that trademark Black Sea shit.
Latest album I'm working on now is my album. It's Infrared Can't Miss is the name of it. It's featuring Corrupt from Death Row. It's featuring The Conscious Daughters and a bunch of other Bay Area talent. You'll hear Balance, who's from the Bay. On there you'll hear my boy Price, P.R.Y.C.E. He's from San Jose, originally from Baltimore. All really hot artists, man. And so it should be released in mid-October. radio's got a hold of it now, and infrared can't miss. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, shit, you know what I'm saying? We're doing a lot of things right now, you know what I'm saying? We always got something in the works, you know what I'm saying? We got the me and MCA, the Spice One MCA compilation coming out, you know what I'm saying? Called Guerrilla Tactics and shit, you know what I'm saying? So check for that. So that's gonna be some bomb-ass major shit.
Working on the Soggy Crackers album. Right here. Featuring Bubba Sparks, E40, Big Stack from Tennessee. Coming out nationwide through City Hall October 21st.
Collector's item right now, MBD collector's items in the streets, off in the stores, floating in everybody's hands. M-Dash, you know what I'm saying? Here's some gravy mixtapes, about to be out in 2 weeks. You know, so we got Sean T on there, we got Tilt on there, Tatum Williams on the board, still on still a feature, Whiskey Kane, you know what I'm saying? We got the Mob Figures, we got Ryder, we got Jay Clyde, you know what I'm saying? We got motherfucking Jackson. We got Littles from QB Spines, Nas is on that motherfucker, we got Charlie Walker on there. It's hot, man. 2 weeks. Real talk. Real talk. Then after that, you know what I'm saying? About I think about 2 months we got the M-Dash Provo and Hungry album, solo album. With the Game from Aftermath. Who else on that motherfucker, man? Selsky, San Quinn. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this motherfucker on there, man. Selsky, San Quinn, Sean T. Man, it's heavy, man. It's heavy.
Marshall that 3 bottles later, don't forget that's some feelings right there.
Yeah, Prozac is on there, man, you know what I'm saying? A-Wax is on that motherfucking, man, it's hot.
Oh, I forgot about A-Wax.
Russ is on there, Young Drew is on there. You know what I'm saying? It's real. Hey, man, it's real heavy, man. It's real hard. It's real legitimate. It's all MJ, MBD shit. It's all affiliated. We all on there. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
The album we just did was called FE, What We Do. For those who don't know, FE is Fuck Everybody. The main core of the album is me, Dutch, Dap Daniel, my boy Shady, my boy Drew, he sings. That just got done. I mean, it's mainly us on the album. And but now I'm already working on my own shit. So the new album coming out is called The One. Mr. King, like January, talking about sometime next year.
Well, my album coming out right now is called Paving the Way, Automatic, you know what I'm saying? Come pick it up in stores. Money Tree all day, holla at your boy, you feel me? After that, we working on, listening to me and him, we're gonna do a group project. We got another group called the A-Team we're trying to work on. And then after that, we're gonna work on this man solo project right there. So,
Boy, comatose.
really, right in the forefront right now, we just got my album coming out, you feel me?
I got my artist Trey Paper coming out. I got Maria Morel coming out. Rocksmith. And all my Turf Monsters finna come out soon. You feel me? The Royalty Fleet. I got numerous people I'm gonna put on because when I eat, they eat.
Latest album is Terrain Boss, and it's coming out August 26th this month. I got like Nope on there, albums, Skip from UTP, down with Juvenile's Clip, Mr. Key, you know what I'm saying? And some local cats from the hood, you know, that's what I'm talking about.
We got an album, it's done. This DVD is probably gonna be out before the album's out, so go get it, look for it. 3-Way Funk. It's gonna be hot. So we're just trying to finish up the last touches right now, you know what I'm saying? We got the album done, it's massive, recorded at Pine Studios with G-Man Stan. And got some guest appearances on there. It's gonna be pretty hot.
Gravity 40, Fat Joe, MC Ren, some cats like that. Some R&B singers too, some hooks and shit for us.
Yeah, so look for it.
We did a song with Daz, Quinn,
Sav Life,
most of
of course. You know what I mean? Right now we're working on this little joint that's gonna be cool. It's probably gonna drop around the end of the summer.
yeah.
It's called Sunshine. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be ridiculous.
The group Dine and Live, me and my boy Sherm Steak. And we got 2 albums out right now in the stores. One on self-titled Dine and Live, the other one is Eternal. The hard hitters on there, you know what I mean? We work with C4 Warriors, Spice One, Shine T, and whatnot, Kick and Slick. But it's live, it's in the stores. Right now I'm working on the T Miraculous project, you know what I mean? We still Dine to Live. But I'm working on the T Miraculous project. It's more on the spiritual side of things, you know what I mean? All clean, cut. It's live.
Be on the lookout for that territorial. Big Bank Take, Little Banks in effect come summer, man. Holla at your boy, the Knockout. It's all great. One.
Basically, as far as influences, it was when we first started out, it was mainly like Too Short. Group-wise, it was like a Butterlaw, NWA, Richie Rich and them was doing their thing at the time, 4 and 5, so it was like our main influences, as far as getting in the game.
Well, I grew up in the game basically because my mom is a singer, my dad is a singer, my mom is actress. She does African dance, and so I grew up around a musically inclined family. It was just like my destiny to do it. My dad was in a group. They used to tour like Japan, Canada, so I just grew up going to rehearsal halls, plays, and auditions and stuff. So I always used to look at my mom like she is just so pretty when she used to be performing and stuff, and I mean, it just seemed like I almost had to do it. It was just something that I grew up around, and naturally I wanted to do it too.
I have to say the person that really influenced me to do what I do, my pops, my dad, Mr. Sinatra.
There's a lot, like, as far as musical influences, we were influenced by a variety. Southern rock, Creedence Clearwater, Leonard Skinner, tons of groups of the Black Crowes, Kid Rock. As far as rap, definitely Tupac, Eminem, Beastie Boys, Run DMC. We really like that revival, like the groups that did things like Outkast, DMC, Beastie Boys, definitely. So, it's influenced by all kinds of artists, man.
I'm gonna have to say Huey MC, old school, Too Short, San Quinn, Scarface, Pac, people like that. Good Times Crazy.
For me, I probably say Face, Scarface, 40, because we never figured it to big influence.
Brew and Funk, man, we were all influenced separately, but I have to say, like, my own influences back from the old school, you know what I'm saying, Curtis Blow, all the old hip-hop rappers, and then when the game changed, I changed with it, and you know what I'm saying, I just stuck with it, started writing raps, started early, 12, 13 years old, did it from there.
When we first started rapping on the radio, we came in on battle rapping and shit like that, calling the station. People started to know who we were just by calling in, getting in little battles and shit like that. That's how we first started. From that point on, we just was hooked, kept doing it.
I got in the game basically starting off as DJing because I'm a DJ. I started on the 1200 Technic turntables, and from that it evolved to loving the music as far as the element of hip hop. In elementary school in San Jose where I grew up, grew up listening to like Sugar Hill Gang and stuff like that, Parliament, old school funk, stuff like that. That's where I just loved it so much and started DJing, buying records, going to the record shop. I was only in elementary school, man. Had 2 turntables that were actually my first tables were made out of like cardboard boxes because I took them out of the old 8-track players and cassette players and just dismantled them and made my own kind of box and put them in there. I was a youngster, man. I did that. From there I graduated to the 1200 techniques and was mixing it up because that's how I started off, being a DJ. You know what I mean? And from there I started getting into the beats more and started working, actually making the beats and sampling because that's what the next level was, the sampling and making beats. Then started busting my own raps, making beats, working with legends such as Tupac, South Central Cartel, Slick Rick, Russell Simmons, Def Jam Records,
Well, for me, it's kind of different because I produce and I rap at the same time. So I guess my major influences would be like anybody, Dr. Dre. I heard that first Snoop Dogg album and must have lost it. Like, how the hell did these niggas make these beats, bro? Got into that. I started rapping, and then fools was trying to charge outrageous prices for beats. I figured I could do it myself. You know what I'm saying? Got on the beats and why not?
Basically, I started listening to all the, Beastie Boys, Run DMC when I was in the 5th grade and all that stuff. That's really which really influenced me. When it came back to when I really grew up on it and really started doing this rap thing was when it started getting closer to home, like Too Short and E40 back in the day, and Spice One, because we're from the same neighborhood. It's made me, if he could do it, then I could do it type shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what really started getting me influenced in the 187 Fact. All the homies and stuff like that started doing it. Everybody started going out there getting this money. So that was really like, it was like, man, if they could do it, I know I could do something with this music. And then I just started, you know, doing it and just making it happen ever since.
And number one, I gotta say Rakim, L. Cool J, Run DMC, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Beast.
My influences back in the day, it all started back with like NWA, the Juice Crew, like Big Daddy Kane, and Marley Marl and all of them. That's what influenced me really to get started in this rap thing. But I was a DJ at first, you know what I'm saying? And then from the DJ, I went to producing.
You being from the Bay, 40, short. I mean, really, out of everybody, favorite's always Tupac, of course, being from the West. But I mean, really just 40 and seeing cats do it and shit, you know what I mean? Just being around everybody, being from Richmond, Bay and shit, you know?
I gotta say motherfucking Mac Dre, my folks, you know what I'm saying? My folks are the folks. Mac motherfucking Dre for one, that ain't blew up yet like he supposed to, but Mac motherfucking Dre for me, you know what I'm saying? Me and my boy too, all my folks. That's a Bay Area native that motherfuckers need to know about, the motherfuckers that don't know about it.
Also, Too Short made this, you know what I'm saying? Pimpin' ass, you know what I'm saying? Short dog, man. Motherfucker grew up on Short since the old white Too Short tape, you know what I'm saying? So that's the major influence for motherfucking Too Short and Mac Dre.
Bay Area rap scene, how do I feel about that, man? I think it's starting to pick up. I think we still got a long ways to get back to where we was in '93, man. Motherfuckers was catching deals left and right, you know what I'm saying? We had cats like JT, Get Low doing it, JT from In Too Deep, that crew was doing it. Everybody had deals, it seemed like, man. A lot of people was getting their money on. And I think we got a long ways to get back to that. People are barely starting to get their deals now, which is good. I think it's well deserved. Because we started this independent shit, man, from day one. And a lot of people will tell you that. If you go to the South, they know the shit came in the bag, but they just took the game and upped it a couple of notches, you know what I'm saying?
If I had one word to say, it was black. Just like I was talking to homie right here. It's basically anybody and everybody can get on real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's flooding the game, and it's hard for the average buyer just to walk in the store right now and just be like, this looks dope, or this, you know what I'm saying? Because you as an average buyer, you only walk in there a couple times and only want to spend $16.99 only every so often. So how's that? If they take a chance on a couple of these other cats, I'm not saying no names or whatever, but it's like they take a chance on these other cats and say buy 3 albums and then they're all weak. I mean, they're gonna get mad and be like, fuck it, I'm going back to the mainstream, the pop, I don't want to say pop, I'll take that back, but more like the Jay-Z's, the cats that are consistent.
That's a lot of thing about the Bay, man. Motherfuckers just throwing out projects like it's happy hour or something. It's like, and then motherfuckers hating on each other, man. It's like a gang of crabs in a bucket. They're all drowning each other, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you need to just shake them, you know what I'm saying? And like gold mine and pick the real ones, you know what I'm saying? From the Golden State Big Bear. And you make it happen, you know what I'm saying? You know who's real, who's fake. But don't be putting money on the whack MCs, man. Cause the whack MCs just bringing shit down. Kick it with
And take time with your product, man. Make sure that shit sounds right. Make sure you did that shit in a real studio, not no bunk ass Fisher Price type shit.
I see you in there.
We had radio play. We had radio play, and I think what happened, and this ain't no shots against, you know what I'm saying, because we do have to take some responsibility as a Bay, you know what I'm saying, as a whole. But I think a lot of artists, you know, maybe they kind of just lag. They kind of lag. They had the heat. And you know, and not that they don't have the heat anymore, it's just that maybe they got comfortable. They kind of didn't probably think that we was gonna maybe fumble, we was gonna drop the ball. So instead of giving that 100%, maybe drop down to 90, and that 10% is gonna kill you. You know, I mean, we don't get no love. We definitely get no love. I mean, you know, Short, E40, you know, maybe, you know, Richie Rich, or, you know, you do get some Bay Area artists that still get some love, but there's a bunch of them that don't.
I mean, we have a lot of talent here in the Bay. A lot of talent. And we have music that we send out, and we get probably more response in Los Angeles you know, Texas, we go Chicago, we have music played in Miami, all, you know, a lot of different places, you know, where it's hard to get it in your own backyard. You know, on that whole note, we as independent, we just gotta keep pushing, you know, doing promotions, doing shows, getting in there and putting the bug in there. We may eventually blow up with a track outside the Bay Area, and then when it comes home, you know, it'll be something they may feel that they broke, but we might have broke loose on radio, maybe in another area. There's a lot of stuff on politics parts where I can't really get too deep into talking about, you know, as far as names or, you know, stuff like that. But you know, it's a rough game. You know, as long as our music is true and we're doing what we feel is you know, on point musically, lyrically, and everything, and our concepts are there, then we're gonna push and promote our own stuff until we make it, you know, into the top of our stuff.
It's all politics. All that shit is all politics, man. You know, you go to the station, the program directors, you know, they want you to, put it on wax, we'll play it in the mix. You might get in the mix on the late night, but as far as out over here, Bay Area stations, they ain't supporting the Bay Area rap because no Bay Area artists are signed to that major label, and the politics in radio are only dealing with major artists as far as major labels with major backing, because why? It's payola. Don't think and don't say like it's not payola, it's straight payola, and that's real time. It's coming from me, I know. People pay for radio play, and if they don't, then they got an inside circuit. Big time, real spit.
I mean, I don't even think the Bay gets enough play, you know what I mean? Like, all you see on MTV, all you see on BT is all East Coast shit. It's all, you know, a lot of down south, which is good. I mean, I'm not hating on their game, but it's like, you know, like, I feel like we can get more play, even though, like, supposedly hip-hop originated, you know, on the East Coast. Sometimes I feel like we deserve, the West Coast deserves a little bit, you know, a little bit more love.
Right now it's so saturated, because you got these canned-ass motherfuckers, man, making these albums that's weak as fuck, getting fucking budgets from their grandmas and shit, and using their uncle money to invest in them and don't know what they stepping into. This game is not for free. Niggas coming in, soaking up all our game and our action and taking it and misusing and abusing the shit, man. And that shit is cool. So to all y'all canned-ass rappers, you know who I'm talking about, get off this game, because it ain't made for you. Y'all need to be some garbage men, because y'all can as fuck. And I'm putting the lid on that.
I mean, I'm basically the same boat. I mean, me and him as being Bay Area artists. I mean, even when the Bay was hot, regardless, the game was hard for us because we didn't get no love anyway. You always got the East Coast had their love, and even on the West Coast, LA, you know what I'm saying? They always got the love, and then down south, even when we was hot, I say like 1995 when we had E40 dropping heat. You know, we had Spice One, you know, One Go. You know, that was like the best. As good as those albums were, they still didn't get the potential that they should have got then. And then as of now, you got every Tom, Dick, and Harry trying to rap. They can get them a little 4-track player, a little Casio keyboard, and then go print some flyers up, and then everybody go to the store. You got 20 albums, and you got like these quality albums. They don't know which one to buy because the Bay Area got about 50 albums in the store, fucking up the game. So right now, the saturation is fucking up the game, and the non-support of all the rappers hating on the other rappers in the game. So if we can just get some love, East Coast, all they do is love East Coast. LA, love LA, you know, so we got love LA, that's still Cali, and then you got down south, and we support all that shit. We don't even support our own, so you know what I'm saying? Until then, man, I don't know what's gonna happen with the
Bay Area rap scene, I think a lot of the people in the Bay Area are just starting to realize, you know, starting to get smart and stuff. Because, you know, one thing that's really selling right now is the down south. And people like E40, he's already with Lil Jon, and he's getting his stuff down south people who are big, like they're enormous right now. Even though Lil Jon's label is independent, he's freaking huge.
Well, as far as Bay Area, I think there's a big transition about to take place because Bay Area is starting to expand now. It's starting to expand to the next level. There's a lot of cats out there spitting now. That's rapping different. I mean, everybody used to always categorize the Bay as a pop sound, but now there's like a East Coast type sound to the Bay. There's like a backpack type rap, gangster. There's a lot of commercial going on now.
all grew up on this shit because there's nothing else we had to do. Nothing else we had to listen to. But now, we got a lot of motherfuckers out here in the game. Motherfuckers really don't realize that because niggas don't like my folks, Calico said the other day. Some niggas on the West is just a little bit too real to jump in shiny suits and really do the mainstream thing. But that don't mean we ain't really doing a motherfucking thing. Niggas out here trying to keep it too motherfucking real. You think we out here just talking about that shit? Motherfucking Tresh said this shit will come out here and shit. We ain't just talking about this shit.
Vaccine, man. I love the vaccine, man. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of independent motherfuckers out here. But at the same time, it's too many independent motherfuckers out here pushing that shit, right? And it's fucking it up for everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You know, y'all fucking it up for motherfuckers like us. We hungry. We out here trying to get it. And y'all using y'all mama's Christmas money to go buy your vaccine. You know what I'm saying? You're using your daddy's money, driving on your daddy's car. This is harder to earn money, man. We hustle for this shit.
You don't know everybody can rap. You know everybody can rap. Any nigga with a couple G's will drop an album. But nigga, we about bread and meat, sweat, tears, and this shit. Nigga, this ain't no overnight shit.
Another thing though about the Bay, motherfuckers need to come together. You know, so there's too many egos. Motherfuckers need to unite and come together with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Throw more shows, throw more concerts and shit like that. Real talk.
Yes, we all have to be independent right now, but don't quit crying about ain't nobody giving you no deal and this label didn't sign me and this label didn't sign me. Do you know that you're supposed to depend on yourself and your God-given talents? And that's why in my book I put out called Black Wall Street, the CEO Manual. I'm gonna let people know, man, you gotta do this shit for yourself, man. And if you wanna get that big deal, then you gotta put yourself in a position to be shining to get that deal. Then somebody gonna give you that deal. You ain't gotta go running to them. They gonna come looking for your ass. It's serious business about finding the next star. People get hired and people get fired behind not finding the right star, and they lose their jobs in the A&R positions. And if you got something that's flaming, somebody that come snatch you. Because A&Rs is getting paid top dollar to find the next hot thing like the game. I signed the game to a 1-album project, a double CD. As soon as I start promoting the mix CD between him and Nas Escobar, Dr. Dre himself comes and snatch the game from me, because this is the heir to the throne. He live in Compton, he from Compton, big brothers from Compton, everybody from Compton. Then we fuck with JT the benefit in the bag on the double CD. Now you don't got the bag. I take my hat off, man, because I ain't got what Dre got to offer, so you go and do that. Because that's the game, I got love for the game. Big boy is hot, and I knew he was fire. You know what I'm saying? That's why I invested my money into him, and now it's gonna pay.
But the Bay, it's starting to get its shine again. It seems like KMEL is starting to do their thing, you know, with the On the Block radio show that they do. Wild 94.9 is still trying to do their thing. I still think we need a lot more support. I still think the shows that they're doing are too short, real short, for us to get our promotion and get our airtime. I think we need to be getting spins throughout the day, you know, not just an hour show. But it's getting there. It's a start, you know what I'm saying?
That's why cats do these mixtapes. When they do these mixtapes and shit like that, it's like, fuck it. It's an easy way to put my shit out, and it's an easy way for the average listener to pop your shit in the deck, and they hear a Ja Rule beat or a 50 Cent beat, and they're already attracted already. Now it's like, okay, now I got them. Let them listen to me. So that's why everybody's doing mixtapes and shit right now, because instead of trying to really push your own shit, it's like, fuck it. These people gotta hear it. Actually, step number 1, get them to get you out of the store. Step number 2, get them to listen to you and really pay attention. Step number 3, get them to like you and buy you again. So how do you get past step number 1? A dope ass flyer, a dope ass ad in the book. I mean, flames and all that other whatever. That shit don't work no more. I mean, that shit don't work no more. Really, I mean, whatever the fuck you do on your cover, it don't work no more. Nobody's gonna backflip out of bed and go get your shit because you got a dope ass picture. You know what I'm saying? They gotta hear you.
Their rap scene, everybody's hustling. There's a lot of people that are doing it now. Where it's headed is pretty much where kind of like everything else independently is headed. Fucking rock bottom right now, you know. Not due to talent or anything like that, but basically what's going on with the music industry. I see cats out here in the Bay not really educated on what's about to happen, what's already happened. Most cats out here are getting their information from the way things used to be. The way things used to be is no longer that way. It's that part of its instinct right now. You know, a bunch of avenues from retail, which is mainly retail, to radio, to the streets. Things have changed. And so most cats out here got the format that how things used to work 3 or 4 years ago. This year's been the biggest change. I've seen it coming for the last 2.5 years, and I kept saying to myself, oh, it's going to be better, it's going to get better, but it's not been the case. It's gotten worse. And basically, if everybody keeps acting the way that they're acting, what I mean by the way they're acting is basically with the mentality of this is how you're supposed to sell records, then everything's going to flop, you know. If you really look at retail stores right now, you see some of the craziest things in the world. You see Bay Area music going through distribution and certain distributions. By the time it's in retail stores, it's like $19.99, $16, $17, $18.99, and that's just gonna just sit on the shelves, man. If we just chosen few that would even be able to sell records.
Or whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? You see people popping their collars, you know, using all type of bass language. So it's like, man, you know, we influence a lot. We just don't get our props, you know what I mean? And it's a whole, a whole lot, even the game, independent game, pushing tapes independently, how we going into these independent distributors and really locking in deals and moving tapes like that. They all soaked up that game from us, you know what I mean? Well, you know, what you can't, you can't be mad at them, but you know, it's just bad. It hurt us because they ain't really letting us in now. It's kind of like debate. It's like we done been blacklisted or something, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's kind of hard, you know, right now for the day, man. We just got to put it together. And, you know, it's all on us coming together, you know what I mean? So I can't even blame none of them for using the language or some shit, I mean, that you would love to say or love to do. I mean, go and promote it and take it there. Yeah, you know, acknowledge the debate, though. Where we came from, you know what I mean? But, you know, we still got to come together to put ourselves on the map, you know, to put our language out there, you know what I mean? Our swagger out there, you know what I mean? We got to do it. We got to market that shit instead of letting them motherfuckers who in the dope use it and they getting on top, you know what I mean? And then we mad at it when we ain't coming together trying to really, you know what I mean, get on top ourselves.
Look at Jay-Z. He made, what's that song called? H to the is O, V to the is A. Come on, all that came from actually 3 times the first people to start saying for Sheezy, but they don't never give us our props for that. Look at Cameron coming with Oh Boy. Come on, now that all came from the Bay. That all came from the Bay. You got people popping their collars. Where that came from? That came from the Bay.
See, what happens is you would never know. Most of the artists, they do songs with the Bay. You know, but shit don't play on the radio. They get on the plane and sneak out here, sneak into one of these studios. You feel me? Get on the track. Where you find out on the album. You know this album. And everybody ain't gonna put that shit on the radio, especially in New York. You know what I mean? Shit, the Bay ain't even playing out shit on the radio.
That's all bad.
A lot of that shit originated the Bay Area, period. I mean, I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, front or perp on it, but even LA is using Bay Area terminology. You know what I'm saying?
Bay Area ain't getting no problem.
Just to keep it PI. I mean, you know, 40 is pretty much our governor out here. He pretty much keep it Bay. He the one rapper out here that, you know, he's from Vallejo, he's from Magazine, his whole little thing, he raps that, but he raps the Bay first, and I've always admired that and respected that about that man, but everybody is just killing us. I mean, so many people using the term hating and really don't know what it means, you feel me? If I don't like your song, that doesn't make me a hater. Hating is if I'm saying you don't deserve what you got, impeding on your progress. That's hating. So all you niggas get it right, because a lot of you niggas don't like country music. So does that make you a hater because you don't like country music? You know what I'm saying? You just don't feel that shit. So if a nigga don't feel your shit, he don't feel your shit. He has a right to his opinion. That's not hate, my nigga. Get it right. All y'all saying hater this, hater that. You know what the word means when you use it.
You know, they've been doing that for years, you know what I'm saying? But it's about time right now that we let it be known, we smash on the game, and let motherfuckers know. They can do all of the shit they want to, But you know,
But who run the underground circuit?
They'll never get no more game if they try to shut. If
We
ever
gon'
get shut
shine.
down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we can never get shut down because the game is the game.
The game
So
is
the
the
game
game.
chose the Bay Area niggas to get down like we get down.
It's Bay. It's Bay slang. The pop, the collar, the play hater, the you know, the fasheezy, the off the record, the jacking our slacks, everything. What we do, other people just imitate that. I mean, what is it? Popping our collar. I mean, all of that. People take that, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, why not feature a 40? Why not feature 3 times? Why not feature Rich? You know, a Sebo, a Messy Marv, a Quinn. You know what I'm saying? These is Mac Dre. These cats have been doing stuff for a very, very long time.
The fasheezy, fashizzle, we know where that came from. Ain't nothing to say. That's been around since before Pac died. We were saying that. That's going on 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? Pac been going, what, 7, 8? You know what I'm saying? So we know where that came from.
Got all the slang, nigga. We say blood, cuz, partner, playboy, MS, all that shit, folks, people. You know what I'm saying? But we got love for everybody and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all about some real thug that ass nigga. Like, you know, like Pac said back in the day or whatever. We ain't give a fuck if you cut a blood as long as you got love for
The thugs. That's right. That's right.
If you got love for the thug niggas, we ain't really even tripping. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to sell it on our block. It's all good.
For instance, you take a song, Pop Your Collar. You know what I mean? That's a Bay Area type of thing made up by the Bay. The whole Mac and the whole playerism type of that whole just vibe is from out over here, from the Bay. And how I feel about them taking it's cool. Go ahead and, you know, use the game and everything, but recognize where it came from. Because a lot of people ain't recognizing where it came from, and they don't give the Bay props on that. And they need to start giving the Bay props on that for the simple fact that that's where they got it from.
Me, man, the Bay done did a lot because you see all these East Coast cats and the down south cats, they using all our slang and shit, stealing it like they made the shit.
You know what I'm saying? For us, that's just how it is. We don't sit there and say, what should we say that might be hot? You know, and I bet a lot of cats in other coasts and other areas probably plot and say, which one should we take? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like this, be original. You know what I'm saying? Just be original, because I bet if somebody from our side of the globe got something from the other side, you know what I'm saying, we'd be getting attacked. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you're gonna do it, you know, get who you getting it from, get them featured on it. Let it be known. Say it on TV, say it on interviews, say it on the radio who you get it from. And then we wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, tripping as much. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really gotta say on that issue. You know what I'm saying? Give credit where credit's due, straight up.
Well, I think, you know, a lot of good sayings that came out today, you know, and you know, it's a touchy subject right there because, you know, man, it's like, it's a tough one, you know, with all due respect, you know. It's so weird how a certain guy can say something, but if another guy says it, it gets the, you know, worldwide attention, you know, throughout the United States and whatnot. And it's just, you know, them guys have earned that, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the Snoops and whatnot, you know, he's speaking, you know, everything that comes out of an artist's mouth, it's not going to be all original all the damn time, you know, it's not what it's going to be, you know, but certain people, it makes it shine. It's like wearing a top, you know, a nice fucking tight ass top on a girl. On certain girls, it's gonna look fucking pathetic. Some girls gonna look okay, and certain girls it's gonna look like, oh my god, you know. And that's just how it is with certain sayings and, you know, whatnot. It's like, you know, some people are gonna make it shine bigger than the other. Who owns it? I can't really, you know, call that, you know, who you say, well, you know, down to my works first. Everybody bickers about this and bickers about that and whatnot. And, you know, as long as that just same saying is not just what makes you, then I don't really feel a bunch of people should be hating about it. But I think that people should tip their hat off. You know, I'd love to hear, you know, these nationwide artists refer to somebody in the Bay. Anytime their name is mentioned in a song, interview, or anything like that, that's the kind of shit I feel that, you know, Bay has that respect. You know, you're gonna utilize some shit that was originated out here, try to give a mention to it or something, you know, when you do an interview and things like that. But nobody can be mad at Snoop because it's working for him. You know, come on, what the fuck, you know?
that's the reason why. But all start crumbling around that time. You know what I mean? We was at our peak, and then it was just like on the slump. You know what I mean? The East-West thing kind of hurt us. You know what I mean?
I mean, when Pac passed, that was just fucked up. You feel me? I mean, everybody got beat. I bet you could ask any motherfucker right now, where were you when Pac? You know what I'm saying? When Pac passed, nobody they gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no lie. I mean, I think the whole outcome of that is because Pac passed away. A lot of people that were scared of what Pac and what they were bringing and shit. Now that he was gone, they felt that they could go ahead and step up, and that's what took over this whole rap shit. I mean, it went from this Pac, this thugging and riding and all this shit people fucking with, came from to like shiny shooting it, blinging it, hyphy, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like way hyphy, but just, you know, spending money but a different way, trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like a circus, you know what I mean? And that's just like the whole thing I was saying, like, seasons change, you feel me?
I have to speak on it like this. I would have to say you're right, man. That could be a big part of it because we were growing up until that point. And I mean, I understand we weren't the best, like I said before, but back then you didn't expect us to really have to be. We had just kind of started out, you know what I mean? You had our JTs, our RBLs, and Dre Dogs kind of making a name. Like, wow, you know, hey, maybe he's doing something in hip-hop. Everybody knew it wasn't the super pro stuff, but it had heart. And something was happening from it. That type of music was growing, you know, springing up to Mac Malls and, you know, different people. And then right around Pac's death and Biggie's, you know, I mean, the two big names, it's a really sad, you know, circumstance to have happened. So I'm not trying to put one above the other one, but because we're talking about the Bay, yeah, when Pac died, it just seemed like all heads looked another way, and we lost momentum, and probably, you know, was hitting the heart pretty hard, you know, with some things too, and then things just kind of seemed scrambled after that, and we haven't really, you know, gripped onto a good format since.
Pac had a partial influence on what happened, a very small portion. Basically, he was the godfather of the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? He's, you know, once he died, it was like, you know, everybody was like, oh, what are we gonna do? You know, what do we do next? And somebody should have took over. But also, it's like record execs, you know what I'm saying? They had, you know, they basically, you know, say what's gonna go, what's gonna sell, what's not, you know. They say this is gonna be released, this is not gonna be released. And so basically, they had a big influence saying that a lot of things they were gonna say, nah, we ain't gonna put this out. And also, I think the Bay had a lot also on our part was we don't come together, and we need to come together and join together and like help each other out. The East Coast does it, the South, you know what I'm saying, they do it, but we ain't doing it yet. And it's like, dude, once we do that, we can make it happen. We'll come back. You know what I'm saying? Not that we fell off, but you know, we're slowly coming back now. You know what I'm saying? But things will be better.
The thing that happened when Pac died, rest in peace, Pac, and you know, that really like put the whole West Coast, you know, at a standstill because, you know, Pac was, you know, making big moves, Death Row was making big moves out here in the West Coast, and it was like, you know, it was all on and popping. Then after that happened, just, you know, shut a lot of doors down for the Bay Area and for LA, you know what I mean? So after that, the East Coast just started just, you know, saturating their product. That's what happened basically. But the West Coast is coming back now, you know. There's a lot of new cats coming out from the Bay, you know, the new Bay. You know, you got Balance, you got the Front Line, you got Assassin, who's been here for a long time, OG status. You got San Quinn, JT, the bigger figure, you know. We're about to lay it back down how it used to be.
When Pac died, that's when shit went in shambles. So we trying to keep it moving for everybody. Yeah, I mean, I agree, you know what I'm saying? But the only thing why I disagree and I agree because when Pac was, you know, he was repping the Bay or whatever, LA, when he got the Death Row, you know what I'm saying? Still, whether he was here or not, he was the only one that was selling units anyway, besides you little E40, you know, we got little sprinkle cats. So when he died, I mean, he died, but we still was in the Bay was still in the same state, he was just making his bread, repping us. So, that showed the Bay love. But as far as the whole rap game, we still wasn't, getting what we were supposed to get. He was getting what he was getting, but we still wasn't getting what we were supposed to get.
Because he's on, he was on airwaves and he was in movies and, he was out there. So yeah, that definitely was a starting of it, dropping. But just around the Pac area as well too. A lot of people came out of the Bay. Look at 3 Times Crazy, the Loonies and Richie Rich and all these cats were still, making some records and had some great opportunities, But yeah, that was a big portion of it.
I think the Bay had lost a lot of its spunk way before Pac died. Pac was not the reason why the Bay was what it is and what it was. The Bay was what it is and what it was is because that's the Bay. You know what I'm saying? I'm a product of the Bay. Anybody who come here is going to be affected by the Bay. The Bay Area has a unique format of doing business, a unique format in representing who you are. And our format, from Tupac to Master P to MC Hammer, people that just sold tens of millions of records, got it right here from the Bay.
So I'm thinking what this Pac shit did when he passed, a lot of shit changed, but everybody knows what's real. Everyone always still knows Pac. Everyone knows that what he did to this rap community will never be ever met, or no one could ever beat to, surpass what he has done for this rap shit. He's a legend, dog. You feel me? He's like in the Hall of Fame up there with, like the first dude up there in the Hall of Fame of rap.
Yeah, Pac was a big influence in the rap game, man, in the West, for sure, because I don't want to say they was following behind Pac, or everybody was following behind Pac, but it wasn't with them in this game, and everybody respected him because he had deep words, you know what I'm saying? And he was like a mentor to a lot. So after Pac was gone, it kind of was like a downfall for the rap game over here. But then everybody had to find their own way, you know what I'm saying?
The reason the West Coast was so prominent in 95, 96 is because when Pac dropped this shit, man, Pac dropped that double CD, right? And he connected people from LA to the Bay and did it real big all together, which gave the Bay a chance to shine, which gave LA a chance to shine. But now that we stand divided, we fall. And Bay and LA, we gotta make it happen. Put the family together, and that's it. And then we'll see the West Coast come together.
Yeah, basically, man, the industry is playing a big part as far as what they're looking for from the West, and right now the South is taking it. They're taking our slang and doing what we all know it originated from the West, and we still got fire. But when Pac was taken and when Biggie was taken, it just set up more of a gimmick. The industry's making a gimmick. They want you to do it like this, and everybody's following suit. It's all soft. It's not as hard as the West is known. The West is known to bring gangster rap. Or even if it's not gangster rap, it's lyrical, but it's street, and that's how I consider myself street.
To me, Pac was like part of the West at that time. And, because a lot of cats on the West, they don't join forces like, in my opinion, they should, because they were riding on Pac's coattails, not in a bad way, but who wouldn't, that was the man. You got guys like Snoop and everybody else who were there with him, but Pac stood out from everybody else. He was holding down the West. So, it's kind of like when you lose your leader, things tend to fall apart. But we ain't fell off that long, We getting ready to jump back right into it. With love for Pac and everybody else who reps the West. We hold it down out here. We do it in memory of them, but at the same time, we do it for our home too. We all want out here on the West. It's real.
I just want to say to everybody out there, we got to stick together. We got to stop hating on each other and do what we got to do so we can ball till we fall like we can. And, stop the violence. Everybody just stop stabbing each other in the back when we can argue. It's enough for everybody out there, because I'm going to get mine, you get yours, you understand?
So looking at this rap game as a quick little come up, shake the dice, let me hit real quick and get this car, this necklace, and some fame, and get some girls, I'm gonna be the nigga in the hood and all that. You might hit. Roll the dice. You might hit. But if you're looking at this as a way to do it big for yourself, then I think that it's something that you definitely can do. You just gotta take it step by step. You gotta weigh all your options. And you gotta come into it thinking you're gonna do it big anyway. You know what I'm talking about? You don't come into it questioning yourself. visions and the dreams that you been having while you laying in your bed tossing and turning, that shit real, man. That ain't nothing, it's not for play. So if you can see it up here, then you can do it. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta start reaching out for people that can help you get your dreams accomplished and get your visions. Fuck dreams, man. We after visions, man. Dreams is one thing, but visions mean you actually can get to it. The dream might not never happen. You feel me? In a dream, you can fly. You can flap your wings. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever it is you think that you've been, you know how the dream goes. You can, something can happen. You can wake up and be all right. That vision is something that you see if you're trying to make it happen.
Yeah. Rap life. Yeah. 2004. It's Sinatra. Doing this for my boy, Little Rue. My son, nah, I mean. Little Nino Brown, know what I'm saying? I'm dedicated to the fullest, I be true to this boy. Spend my coin, spend every dime, spend all my time pursue it. I broke bread, even shed tears for this here. I've been waiting and debating and been counting the years. This ain't no all-time thing. If you with it, stay committed, never city fold off. Remember this back up till I'm hold on. Like Prince, I'm a slave ever in this till my grave. Nobody can tell me to stop doing this until I rise.
Straight out the Yay area, let's be infectious like malaria. My name is Little Rue, I'm putting it down for ya. I'm always spinning all the tightest gear and latest trends. I'm the one that you're hearing about. Out the end, this is the fullest, never see me slow down. Always representing that underground sound. My pops for me once, my pops for me twice. The streets ain't nothing nice when you're living the rap life.
I'm putting it down, staying true up in this rap
We legal dope, man, gotta get it straight, man. This is what I do with my crew. Thought you knew, man. It's only the beginning and it's far from the end, man. We get it cracking every single night at our shows, man. Just living on the south side of the hate town, down in Dirty Mile. And you know I'm down.
I'm not bragging, yes I'm always sagging. The ice cold player till I see.
Rolling in my caddy, got a fatty on my lip that I hit to the next block.
Man, we coming at you, when they got to the gas you. The black KKK, put up in your bumper like that. Die, and you lay awake. Mistake, now the mob got your soul to take. Spade murderer, coming about the city streets, no peace when I creep, but the motherfuckers in sleep.
Done it, do it all, so fuck the dumb shit. Represent, you done it, do it all.
Now I'm sporting baggy pants in that hooligan manner. Pulling more strings than Carlos Santana and the IC.
Now I be riding for my down folks, my brown folks, my east side over and down folks. Some straight lost riding half in this guy.
Who that dead they try to get rid of Sinatra? Who that big way they talk to
Streets, then what you least expect, what the heck, my check is on deck. Payroll.
And open beats, hottest reeking on the streets of the east. If it's on, then I'ma spit it, cause a gangster gotta eat. Letting loose on these haters, hit them quick, then bring the heat.
This ain't one of them flipping your truck. All your homeboys will be getting you up. Little ass niggas ain't bigger than us. Up north niggas is dangerous.
This is Californication, off some medication. Most of my runners be from the Greyhound station.
Nah, it's time to close, cause we take a toast, cause I spit the most. Politicking at the gambling shack. Every little city I go, like Papa with Black was Rolling Stone.
Always smoking on blunts, this is what we do. Reppin' the bay to the fullest in the streets on the club.
Rock to this, go to this, go to this. We're gonna make you get low to this, hold to this.
Don't be surprised if I take you on a joyride with the fifth head on the side. We getting purred.
Cause the game has changed. It turned me to think that I should get paid. Stack by the stack, woofers in the back. Tires burn as you hit and smash. The getaway is fast, cause all you see as we leave is a smokestack.
Up your hands and wave them real high. And go to the liquor store and pick me up a St. Ives. Cause second, get the squirrel, get the spinach. Make sure you motherfuckers feel every sentence. What?
It's the Latin Barcelini.
With any waste time, GUT, dust the heater.
Be the sergeant in arms. Major factors, ain't no actors when the camera turns on. Blaze the track, crank the bottle till the Henny is gone. It's the Latin Barcelini.
You new booty rappers just be clogging the game like blood clots in the veins. This industry can't breathe. You should do us all a favor and leave. Saturation Nation.